Hey scrappers, if you're looking to figure out what materials you should sell this week or hold this week, now is the time to do it. Our weekly report is going to give you that information, up-to-date market news, pricing. Let's get right into it and we'll talk about it inside. Hey, it's Tom, and today the last day of August, which is crazy that 2/3 of the year are over, and almost like the unofficial stopping ending of summer with Labor Day right around the corner. Just kind of crazy to think of that, and these markets have been crazy. I mean, I think that's like the word of the year. So we'll talk about a bunch of different things, but we'll talk about a few things right off the bat. Really cool. We had a video post the other day for members only through our YouTube channel, just about stainless steel options, where the prices are, how they got here. So if you're looking to learn more about the stainless steel markets, especially holding it, which is something we still recommend you do, please become a member only through our YouTube channel today. What's going on with the scrap markets? We talked last week ABC, right? Aluminum, brass, copper, steel. ABC. So what's happened over the last week? Well, we had 3 consecutive days of the stock market dropping almost 2,000 points. Friday, for instance, we saw a drop of over 1,000 points. Why that happened? Well, we started to hear some people from the Federal Reserve saying that consumer, right, us, should be ready for some pain. What did that do? That caused a domino effect throughout the market. Caused the stock market go down 1,000 points, and we started to see the copper prices start to fall. So I was looking at our energy economist Mark's report this week, and there's a couple of interesting things I looked at. One of the charts that he points out that you can all click and read our weekly reports, whether it's on your through the app on the computer. We have the weekly reports on there along with these charts, and it was talking about one of the open interest with the copper market. Now we're seeing the copper market that hovers around $3.52. Down earlier today, but right before I popped on it was $3.52. The people that are saying that last year's run up in the copper market, going all the way to $5, really like people sitting at home and can buy it now, an Amazon or an online shopper. Where now you fast forward from 2021 to 2022, you see the service industry, whether vacation industry or other things, getting more business. So a lot of people were investing in those commodities last year, really because there were a lot of other places for them to put their money where they could be a quick run up, but unfortunately a quick run down. So it was really interesting perspective. Three different points that they're kind of looking at for 2023, and we'll talk more about this in the coming weeks as we read more. Is a copper price hovering around $3.12. Again, today $3.50 to 40 cents below. And the lowest of that is having the market all the way down to a trading price around $2.70, a little lower. Those are price points where they set those price points so people in the trading world have a realistic expectation how much material they want to buy today, how they want to hedge against certain things, and if that's going to affect the scrap prices. So if people are asking me what I recommend, well, I expect to see a 20-cent run up in all this year of copper prices, where we went 350 to 370. So I don't know where things are going, but this is going to be something that's going to be really interesting to watch, especially for developing, more EVs, more clean energy, and things like that. They're going to use more aluminum, use more copper, non-ferrous. So some of the other things I wanted to talk about last week, you, the scrapper, told us over 40% of you, 40% to be exact, were holding their light iron. And that really surprised me, because light iron is one of those bulky things that even if you fill an entire 8-foot pickup truck with light iron, you're probably going to get more than 1,500 pounds, maybe 1,000 pounds. And I've always been someone that has said this for years, because you can look at some videos that I've talked about. Things that are light, bulky are not things that you want to touch or hit your hand very often. So the fact that 4% of you are saving light iron, that's really not crazy or not impressive, just shocking to me. The people that are doing the rotors, they're heavier steel. That doesn't surprise me as much, because you're able to get more bang for your buck, and the spit it takes up doesn't take as much. An example. We had a customer Aqua Recycling bring in a 55-gallon drum just of rotors. And that's a really good idea on how to save some of your rotors, put them into a 50-gallon drum. We've seen a lot of you have some of those lifts on the back of your truck, even use like an engine lift to be able to lift that up, put it onto your truck or onto a pallet, onto your truck, and then bring it to the scrap yard. Drums are awesome for rotors. And you can have like a 100-pound drum. And he said that he doesn't really, the scrap prices when the drum's filled, he throws in the truck and he cashes it in. Just an interesting idea and something for you to think about. So we talked about aluminum. One of the things read in this week's report, Mark, was talking about aluminum's usage in new age batteries. And one of the things I have highlighted here, since 2020, the price of the lithium has gone 500%. Why do I talk about lithium and aluminum in the same sentence? Well, if we're going to have more clean energy, more electricals being sold on the market over the next 5, 10, 20 years, where are those battery materials come from? Primarily right now, they're using lithium or nickel, things like that. Those are expensive metals. You need to find alternatives. One alternative we read about is an aluminum sulfur blend that's being developed right now. And this blend could take over some of the lithium ion. And aluminum and sulfur are found a heck of a lot more often all over the world on the Earth's crust than lithium is, which is really hard to mine, which takes time to pull out of the ground and refine. And where aluminum is something that you can find, almost anywhere you go nowadays, whether it's a car door panel, even parts of electronics. I know that Apple uses a little aluminum in all their iPads and Macs and their iPhones. So it's all over the place. It just gives you a really different, avenue to think about when it comes to aluminum. And we talked last week about the aluminum market having been more of an uptick in this fourth quarter that's coming up. And another tip, ask your scrap yards about their different. We have a couple of videos coming out, differences between casting, extruding aluminum, and we mentioned different grades in there. So those are just other things that you want to keep in mind. Another material we continue to recommend selling is brass. I don't think that everything that you have in your should be saved. You should always have some type of turnover, unless you're a full-time scrapper. If you're a part-time scrapper and you want to save something, but if you're full-time, you should always be spinning some of your material. A 1 bucket of brass weighs 120 pounds. National average around 185.519. It's still $200 just about, and that's something that we think you should continue to cash in. But if you think that you should let us know if you're holding, and let us know why you're holding. Respond back to you some of the videos. So that's something really interesting in the aluminum market. And to kind of go to the gas side of things, the oil markets, we read a couple of things, and what was one of the most interesting things for that market, there hasn't been any hurricanes. We've had so many other problems going out. People in Mississippi having problems with their water supply, with gas prices coming down the last 70 days. There have been problems that have really peaked over the last few months. But there hasn't been any hurricanes. Knock on wood, hopefully that will continue, because no hurricanes, and we don't have an upset in the Gulf Coast with their refining of oil into gasoline and diesel, and these are things that are going to affect the scrap markets. We saw about a $40 run per ton over the last 5 weeks, and that's really good. I started to see a couple of people that I sell material to telling me that there is going to be a $10 drop, either effective today or effective tomorrow, so September 1st. So you might start on the lookout for a small decline in the steel markets, but just know that the end of August is always a little bit of a funny period. It's kind of when schools are going back, when vacations are ending. A lot of refineries and different mills are not operating at full capacity because of the extreme heat. As we make our way into September and we close third quarter, then we're going to start to see a little more of hawkish news coming out for the markets. They're going to be a little more sharp, a little more crisp. And after the third quarter ends, when we start to see some of these large manufacturing companies, some large steel and aluminum manufacturers like Nucor and Alcoa having their earnings calls, that's going to give us a lot of information on where the steel, where the aluminum market is going to be going. Freeport, another big copper mining company, they'll put their earnings guidance. So those are going to be some of the things that we look for that shape our different reports. We know a lot of people comment and they say, oh, you told us to sell 3 weeks and the prices are up 20 cents. Well, that's the thing about the markets. New pieces of news come out and we react as they happen. And if you download the iScrap app, then you'll be getting pricing alerts. You'll be able to see what other people are getting from the pieces that they've posted online. We have over 200 materials that have national average prices on help you make more money, learn about the markets. On top of that, we have our week reports, and we have all other type of ways to be able for you to make more money. Converters. Our Cats.com, of course, is one of the subsidiaries of iScrap and Rock Recycling. What we've seen in the cat market is the prices have started to come back a bit. Platinum has ascended below $850 an ounce. Rhodium has actually kind of stabilized in the $13,000 to $14,000 ounce range. And to kind of boil those things down, a national price is around $160 right now. Still up from the low that we saw a couple of months ago. 140, so $160 for an average OEM is what we're seeing the prices right now. If you're looking for free quotes, of course, our Cats.com will provide them to you via text, via email, and within days to ship your cat with a free shipping label on OEMs. It can give you the ability to make more money on your cats and know that you're paid by just checking out some reviews that we've there. So the ABC aluminum could be a very bright spot going Q4. Brass continuing to be an item that sell, even with copper down slightly. It still has an upward trajectory right now. We talked about that last week. Copper, we've also seen the copper price, while they've come down about 18 cents from 370 trading high. We saw about 4 or 5 days ago. We still think they're very strong, but we do recommend holding them until after Labor Day when we start the markets panning themselves out. And lastly, steel, we are starting a little bit of a weakening market, about $10 per ton. But look at your scrap yards; they're a real indicator. How big is their pie compared to last time? Sometimes the bigger pile, you might want to ask the scale managers, are you guys selling your material? We'll give you a little insight on what they're doing locally, and that could dictate some of your prices. Smaller piles probably mean prices were up. Larger piles might mean that just holding on, which I know a lot of people are doing as well. So here we are, end of kind of the official last week of summer, going to Labor Day. Many of you have children in school ready or getting ready to have them go in school. But September was when the trading markets really start to pick up, and we'll talk more about them 2 weeks from when we have our weekly report. Next week we'll have a bit of a recap of where the market. And of course, always ask questions. If you're looking for extra content, by becoming a YouTube member, you'll get videos that we don't to everyone, whether it's about steel, how to work with scrap yards. So check it out as well. Scrappers, today's August 31st. My name is Tom. Till next week, I'll scrap you later.
Thanks for checking out this scrap video. For more exclusive scrap video content, please become a YouTube member of our channel today. Thank you, and I'll scrap you later.